Make sure you lasso to V. Appreciate it. Book a TV La Star for the star now. We back at T. From Bloomhouse, the producer of The Visit, Insidious, and The Gift. Funny. Let's stay on this one. For this video, we gonna be showing you how the truth is being hidden in plain sight, or better yet, decoding Get Out. They said, hold on, this movie came out. This movie came out 20 years ago, almost. Not really, but to this generation, when time is going so fast, it seems like, I know for myself, I don't even really like watching movies unless I know it's an actual good movie. Like if I missed it and it came out like 2019 or something like that, I'm like, I ain't watching that old ass shit. But in reality, that shit just came out like 3 years ago. But this is a time, it's just a climate we in where we think shit is getting older quicker. But in reality, shit is goddamn becoming more and more newer, faster. So the things that was old, not necessarily old, it's just new things that keep out growing the old thing that was supposed to be here for a certain amount of time. Get Out. A lot of us, majority of everybody who wanted to see it, did seen Get Out. Everybody didn't have their own perspectives of what he meant by it, what the movie actually stood for. I'm not here to talk about the black or white version of the movie. What he was illustrating in this movie, in the truth being hidden in plain sight, is that we need to get out of the system. We need to get out of religion. We need to get out of certain mentalities that we hold dear to our heart, as far as just being, we all come from Africa, everybody come from us, goddamn, we all gods, we all queens, we all kings. That's white people shit. And like I said, I'm not making it, I'm not trying to get my perspective from the black and white version of it. But in reality, the thing that we need to get out of is the things that we indulging in that we shouldn't be indulging in the first place. A lot of black people want to say black culture this, black culture that, but in reality, black people don't got no culture. This is why black people can be so scattered around and each one do what they want to do for themselves. Not each one teach one to reach one. No, each one eat one to goddamn defeat one. Each one eat one to defeat one. Man, you hear me? We need to get out of this mentality that we have in the hood as feeling like the niggas that's our ops, the ones that put us in this ghetto ass position, when it ain't them. So while we got two people that live in the hood on different sides killing each other as if we actually the problem, that's the shit that we need to get out of. We need to get out of the self-hatred. We need to get out of the self-inflicted violence to our own confused race. What I will say is, this is why he said get out. And this is why he had it like this, where it was weak white people or weak white men or weak white Anglos that wanted the stronger Negro features, not necessarily to look like him, but just to be physically and mentally compatible. Yeah. What do they do now? who is the most physically fit? All the athletes, and who was the most mentally compatible? A lot of the actors, a lot of celebrities. And then that's who they want. Then guess who they give us? They give us all of the rappers, the ones that come from the same place that they know majority of everybody that live in the urban community come from. So it's easier to be able to relate to musicians, rappers, and different shit like that. Than it is to maybe relate to a Will Smith or Denzel Washington. A lot of people think they can relate to this Will Smith and Jada Pinkett argument, but I beg to differ. This is the shit that we need to get out of. Black people sitting in the Oscars, and then for a black man to get on the Oscars to say a boycott joke in front of majority white people. A boycott joke. Fuck the G.I. Jane joke. It's the boycott joke that pissed me off. Like, why would you say a boycott joke about another black couple sitting in there in a Academy show where there's nothing but rich white people around? Why would you say a fucking boycott joke? And maybe that was the last time he said that boycott joke. And that don't make it no better. I think it was the first time he said the boycott joke. And then the other joke that he said, okay. So if you got away with saying the boycott joke was 6-7 years ago at the last Oscar award, who put you up to say some goddamn house nigga shit like that? And then 6-7 years later, you get on there and then say another goddamn underlining racist joke to your own people, Chris Rock. You couldn't find no other. You said, hold on, just because G.I. Jane is white, that's is underlining racist. When you in there in the Oscars, and the Oscars is owned by white people, majority of those white people in there is multi-millionaires, just like Will Smith and the other people that's in there, Chris Rock himself. So why not say a joke against somebody else that was sitting in that crowd? This is why I said we need to get out of that mentality. And then everybody saying that it was just ratchet of Will Smith to do that. Hold on. So which culture do we come from? Do we come from the American culture? Or do we come from a culture that we don't even have? A culture that we're trying to find our way back to? So why are we steady trying to uphold this civilized manner in certain different public spaces when in reality they are setting up the dominoes for us to fall a certain way? Some people say, I don't want to get out of America. I'm not saying get out of America. We have to get out of this system that they have been blanketed over America. That dude right, oh, here we go, better one. This dude right here, I didn't realize who this was until I rewatched it just recently. This was the dude that got kidnapped at the beginning of the movie. But you see him now. And then you see how many actual black people are getting kidnapped. You say, hold on, getting kidnapped? What you mean? They're getting kidnapped on their own free will. You ain't know you can be kidnapped with your own, giving your own free will. See, they showed it in here where they was forcefully taking black people and turning them white. They don't have to force no black people to be white no more. All you have to do is pay your ass, and you gonna act accordingly. This is the shit that we need to get out of. We need to get out of this monetary system that they got us looped into. I'm not saying stop believing in finances and all that shit. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying collectively as a whole, we need to start to pay attention to the things that they are manipulating in front of us. In return, we need to start to get out of some things, certain things. Since this movie came out in 2017, and a lot of these movies came out in 2017, to come to find out, that's so funny. What have people, since 2017, what have you gotten out of? What different situations have you got out of? What bad habits have you got out of? What relationships have you got out of? What bad business deals have you got out of? Have you tried to get out of anything? Have you tried to get into anything new? Because to get into anything new, you have to get out of something old, correct? If I'm driving an old car and I want to go buy a new car, I ain't going to be able to go to a dealership, drive my old car, and say, okay, I'm going to test drive. I want to buy this car. And they say, okay, do you want to test drive it? Say, yeah, I'm going to drive my old car to test drive it, though. It's okay, that's cool, too. But what you going to do when you take it home? I'm going to drive my old car home. No, I have to get out of my old car to get in my new car. So to be able to get out, you have to be willing to get into something new. Nobody wants to get out of the shower without a towel and they know it's cold. Nobody wants to get out of their car and they know it's raining if they ain't got the proper umbrella or a hoodie or some jacket on. People ain't putting this into perspective. People don't want to get off of social media. Get out of social media. People are starting to get more and more into social media. So this is the thing. Was he saying get out of social media? Get out of this system as a whole. It's a lot of things we can be getting out of. Getting out of this artificial lifestyle that they're propelling us into. Getting out of this artificial food and processed food that they have us overly indulging in. And last but not least, they always show white people living all secluded out in the country and the wild and different forests and shit like this. So in return to scare black people away from where we naturally come from, which is the wild. So black people are losing their wild side and white people are starting to inherently take on this wilder nomadic type lifestyle and living more free and off the grid and shit like that. This is what we used to do. So in return, they're becoming us in the future and we didn't became them now, where we are more docile, we're more goddamn susceptible to injury, we're more susceptible to goddamn emotional responses and less logical responses, we're more unrational, we're more barbaric, we're more savage, we're more willing to manipulate our own kind, we're more willing to rape and abuse our own kind. This is the shit that we need to get out of. So if we got a lot of white people that's going to the wild and shit, living more wilder and more nomadic and more free, and we got more black people that so fucking scared to go on a fucking hike through a fucking trail in they neighborhood park, let alone a national fucking park, we going towards them and they coming towards us. And they know they coming back. Look, so why are all the white people that come from all this infrastructure shit, why are a lot of them going to the wild now? Why are a lot of them going to this nomadic lifestyle, this sustainable lifestyle, tiny homes, RV homes, all of this shit? And what black people trying to do? Black people trying to get the next Jordan, next iPhone, next penthouse. They want to motherfucker, black people want to stay in lofts and mansions and big ass houses that they can't even goddamn really keep up to afford. These motherfuckers got to go into debt with banks just to get these shits, just to impress the people that's next to them. And the reality, the people that's next to you don't give a fuck about that shit because they don't have it. It's been real. People are star for the star now. Use your brain to get out of what they putting us in before it's too late and you don't have a soul to choose. Turn it off.